So we have a great program today, and we would like to start with a French speaker who's talking about something really important. Um, Before we code and before we do prototyping, there is an aspect of programming which actually changes the way you code, the way you work. And that's your team. It's team working. And on team working, all your professional life depends. So I'd like to welcome on stage Jérémie GIRAULT avec Human Engineering. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I wanted to talk about human today because although we are commonly associated to emotionless computer nerds, human and the team is the core of any project success. So I made my search and I found this website. You may know it. It's the front page. You have to be logged out to see it. And what I think is interesting is that when I saw this million of developers and they are working together. So how can this work? It all begins with the team. A team is like this, a nice set of members with their own properties and they are working together. Actually, a team looks more like this. This is a real team. The awkward JSON response that the server sends you. And actually, if you send the same request, each other morning you will get another response. So it's quite difficult to deal with it. So how do we deal with it? We know that forcing things is not the good way to work. So we want to save code and a safe environment to work in. And actually, if you don't believe it, some recent studies showed that at Google, for example, psychological safety is the most important aspect of high-performing teams. So let's try to do something better. First, to understand it, we have to switch paradigm. So we all started with object-oriented programming, or at least most of us, and it's very reassuring. We know it, it's been the way we work, and we have a deep hierarchy of classes, and it's very hard to change. When you want to change something at the root, you will have hard time to propagate your changes, sorry. And then there's a new trend again in for functional programming, and you can, it's very expressive, very powerful, but you have to reverse the way you think about your code to master it, and it's more difficult. And let's think a moment about productivity. It may be our goal, but I really think that productivity is just an indicator. It's a measurement of how well you feel at work. If you feel good, you will create great value, creativity, and if you feel bad, you will spend time on LinkedIn searching for other jobs, so not the best way. And it's an implementation. You can engineer it, you can create it. So how do we do? Simple, be a 10x engineer. We are asked to be 10x. But I don't really believe in this solution, because for example, if I'm a 10x and you are 1x, and you become a 2x, do I lose one of my x because you're better? No, it's a competitive, it's really not productive way of working. So my proposition is be a 5 by 2x. What does it mean? It means help 5 people around you becomes 2 times better. And for this, you don't need specific skills. You need to be a better human and share with people around you. Everyone has unique skills and you can share. And for this, we will need some tools. There's a lot of tools. And I invite you to pick what's best for you. Hundreds. I cannot describe. But there's no silver bullet, but I can try to express some of them I find useful in my day-to-day life. So, expectation. Make everything very clear. Involve everyone in decisions. Make sure that contribute to decisions, understand them, and accept them even when they disagree. Promote empathy in the workspace. Really put yourself in other people's shoes. Understand what they feel and how they feel when you say something. And make them understand how you feel when they say some things on the other side. And finally, always talk openly about any issue. Because if there's someone coming at you with a technical or personal issue, and you ignore it, you will create human debt, like technical debt. And your team will fall apart, like your project will fall apart. So, make it. Finally, there's a great framework at work. It's your company and your company culture. And this company culture can be refactored. You only need to be conscious about your bias, about the way you always consider things to be good. And this is not necessarily the good way, but you have to think out of the box and be conscious about it. Being conscious about it allows you to find solution. And refactoring it allows you to increase extensivity, inclusivity. So please do, and learn from people that you don't know. So with all these tools in your hand, I invite you to talk with me later and share your experiences and make the world a better place by making work a better place. Thank you.
Thanks for this talk. This is the first sessions of the questions. So, maybe you want to introduce?
So, really inspirational talk. Thank you. So, do you have a recipe for a great team? Which elements should never be missed or missing in a good team?
As I said, I don't know. There's no silver bullet, but just try to listen to your feelings and be attentive to each other's and benevolent.
And do you think, we always refer to team organization based on the size of the company. So do you think big companies, huge companies that are not agile enough or not agile at all, can have this kind of mindsets? And do they even care?
I don't know, I can't talk for others, but I think at every level of a company, you can create a safe environment. It's being attentive to other people in your team, which will create better day every day for them, or just be attentive.
And if you're stuck in a company that don't really want to move, what would you do? Can you do something to try to push your company to be different in terms of organization?
Yes, there's a lot of tools, as I said, and I think it's your job to search and push and to always try to make things better.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to have to move on. Yeah. And thanks.
Thank you.